crime in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value.
Welcome back, all my In Black America Radio listeners. This is your host, Rasta B. And today the title is Polls versus People, Trump, Hillary, and American Politics. Guest call-in number, 646-716-4654. Polls versus People. If you're a first-time listener, then you may not know that I've been saying that Trump was going to win the nomination when Jeb Bush was still running. Like, for a while now. Because I see the pattern. I have a pattern I'm following. And I don't really watch TV. And when I watch TV, it makes me a little nervous, and it makes me question the wave I'm on, and it makes me wonder, like, what the hell am I thinking of, you know? But that's because I'm caught up in the polls, in the media. But when I'm listening and tapping into the people in the polls sound totally different. That's where that title came from, because I believe that if we're relying upon polls, let's just say it'd be a very, very huge mistake. We'll get more into it, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, that's about it. We're going to talk about a lot of things. We're going to have a lot of different topics. We're going to talk Trump and Hillary, of course. We're going to talk about Ryan Lochte, his lying ass, that piece of trash, and just various topics and things going on centered around it. Because I think it's very important, because a lot of time, especially Black Americans, we like to go with the flow instead of creating our own lane. That's how I feel, at least. But before I continue on how I feel, let me go ahead and bring in my co-host, Smoke. Smoke, are you there?
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
Yeah, man. Shit, what's good, Smoke?
Yeah, man. Regular week, man. Regular week. Just chilling, man.
You said,
Glad to be on. I said just another regular week, you know what I'm saying? Just chilling, man. Happy to be here for another week, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay. So, yeah, the topic, man.
I feel like you can't hear me.
People. No, I said the topic, polls versus people.
It's crazy, man, because you see, like, everything going on in, like, the media with Hillary Clinton, but then, you know, you see what's going on with Trump. So it's like, it's going to be interesting come, you know, this election, you know what I'm saying? It's like, it's going to be something to just pretty much get your popcorn ready to see how it plays out, because, you know, it's like, what I'm thinking is like, the people who are like voting in the polls and things like, it's like, for some reason, well, we know why, or I guess I can explain why, but for some reason,
Wait.
People, they're not.
Wait. You said something. You said the people that's voting in the polls.
I'm saying like the polls that they put it like on the news. You know.
Let me ask you a question. I don't want to put you on the spot, but when the pollsters came to you and asked you the question, right? What did you say?
No pollsters came to me.
Oh, okay. That's the point I'm making. Polls, but I ain't never got polls. Now I don't know nobody who ever been polled. So what the hell is this poll shit going on, you know?
Yeah. But it's just like, you know what I'm saying, it's like, don't, you know, what's shown in those polls is probably not representing what's actually happening, because a lot of people who, in my opinion, who want to vote for Trump, they're not going to verbalize that. You know, Trump, especially like in the media, you know, he's been pumped up with, you know, as a racist, and, you know, he's contributed to that craziness, you know what I'm saying? So it's like people are kind of ashamed to maybe say that, you know, they're a Trump supporter because of that negative image out there. But
I disagree.
Actually going to the polls and doing it.
I don't think they're ashamed. They might be nervous. You see what I'm saying? Because that's how I felt. Because when Barack was running, and everybody kept asking me, was you voting? And I'm like, no, I ain't voting for no damn Barack. And everybody was like, you know, oh, you got to vote. Oh, you know what I'm saying? So after a while, it makes you say, yeah, I just voted. I did, yeah, go Barack. I voted for Barack. So everybody get off your back. You know what I'm saying? So it may be unfavorable to say I'm a Trump supporter or I'm voting for Trump because you don't want no violence, somebody to attack you or something like that. So then you just lie. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think it's a shame, basically, what I'm trying to say. I think it's a caution.
Yeah, I mean, you know, insert words, you know what I'm saying? But it's like pretty much, you know, that's what the dynamic is, you know what I'm saying, that I think. So it's gonna be interesting. It's definitely gonna be interesting because we still got a few months away. So, you know, pretty much the chess moves. You know, you got Hillary speaking on, you know, like she had a speech recently, or where she's you know, talking, and now she's like you know, trying to bash Donald Trump's plan. So, you know, now she's gonna start getting into that. So as things go along and get closer to it, you're gonna see, like, you know, the punches getting thrown, you know, the haymakers getting thrown. But I think that, you know, the silent thing is the people that's not actually talking. Like, who do they want? And it seems like, you know, Trump he's gonna win that. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, we'll see.
Yeah, man. Like I said, man, my whole shit at the end of the day, I've been called it while everybody else, Black America lasting. Oh, nobody gonna vote for no Trump. Oh, look how he's talking. And I kept saying to myself, y'all thinking emotional. Y'all thinking emotional. Or, and this is the shit that gets me, Smoke. Where's all the people that are saying, yo, we don't need to be doing this when it comes to standing up in the revolution, right? We don't need to do this, we don't need to do that. What we need to be doing is planning and strategizing and planning. So here's my question. Are these same planners and strategists strategizing and planning on what to do for a Trump or a Hillary win? Or are these planners and strategists sitting around hoping Hillary wins? You see what I'm saying? That's why when I hear them planners and strategists talk, I always be like, yo, shut up. And just say you scared. Because I've been hearing planning and strategize for, okay, if I'm 35, I'm not going to say for 35 years. So let's say for the last 30 years. You know what I'm saying? Because you always hear the same argument, plan and strategy and plan. We need to plan this out, brother. We need to be smart, sister. We need to do this. That's the 90s, the late 80s, early 90s. That's the mid-90s. That's the 2000s. That's 2010. Now it's 2016. We're saying the same shit. So that means ain't nobody planning, nobody strategizing. No. That's why I'm looking at people, and they talk about Trump. They wanted to diss Trump, and I look at that because one, there's no planning and strategizing, and then there's damn sure no learning American fucking history. When you understand American history, you're going to see a pattern. So here's a Netflix movie for my Netflix subscribers. Go and look at I guess it's a documentary. It's like 50 minutes, 50. It's called How to Win the Presidency. How to Win the Presidency. The presidency, Look at that documentary. Do you got Netflix Smoke?
Nah. I'm going to sign up for
right?
Coming up. I keep canceling my time.
You gotta check that out, man. When I've seen that documentary, it's like a little BBC joint, right? Because like these are Europeans from Europe. These ain't the white people out here in America. So what I seen was first thing I noticed, they're talking about all the presidents, right? So not all of them, but they're talking about the old presidents. So they go, they're showing Nixon, cause like as they talking, right? It might like the commentary might be like, how do you win the American, presidency or something like that? Or these are all the American, something of that nature where as they're talking, they're showing you a visual of all the previous American presidents. So when I'm looking at it, they're showing Nixon, then they showed Carter, then they showed Reagan, then they showed Clinton. I don't remember them showing the first George Bush. They showed Clinton, then they showed George W. Bush, like the pictures, you know what I'm saying, or images or whatever, like, the video clips maybe or whatever. Then they showed Barack Obama, and the next clip they showed was Trump. So when I seen that shit, I was like, am I tripping? So I rewind it. I said maybe by the time they showed Trump, it was for another segment, another part of the documentary. Nah, that shit was lined up with the other presidents. I said, interesting. But that's small, nothing major. I'm watching more of the documentary. They start talking about the president's name. So they start saying, they're basically trying to show how the American people pick presidents, pretty much. So they go, the president's name. And they like, you got some that have a middle initial, like Ulysses S. Grant, right? Then there's like, you got others who can have, I guess they have like long names. I can't remember how they broke it out. I only saw it once. I think it was Wednesday. So, yeah, I think it was a Wednesday or something like that. I seen it. Or Tuesday I saw it. So, so then they were breaking down the names, and they was talking about Ronald Reagan. And for whatever reason, the whole Ronald Reagan thing, maybe they used the middle name too, I can't remember, but the whole thing of Ronald Reagan name, they was playing off of the syllables in the name. So then there was like, and some presidents can go by one name, and they'll just name, they was naming them, like Coolidge or some shit like that, and then they said Trump. Right. So I was like, okay, this ain't just in my head. You know what I'm saying? This is blatant now, right? And then the guy said, now we'll just have to see if this theory stands up after the election. So that means even overseas, they're looking at Trump to win. Based off of patterns of American politics. And the reason why I said Trump was going to win is based off of patterns of American politics. You know what I'm saying? That's the reason. you got some people that like I said, King Simon. I heard in a previous video with him. I think he was being interviewed with Brother. Yeah, more than likely he was being interviewed by Brother Rich, and he was using numerology to show that Hillary will win, and he was breaking it down with numerology. And even him breaking it down with numerology, I was still like, nah, I still don't see how that would work. I see Trump winning because my whole breakdown of it was, if we go from Nixon was a Republican, right? Yeah, he was a Republican. Then came Carter, who's a Democrat. Then came Reagan, who was a Republican. That's two-term Republican. Because I can't remember, I think Nixon was a two-term Republican too. And I think Carter might have been a one-term Democrat. I don't know. See, because that's not my era. Reagan, we know, was a two-era Republican. After Reagan came George Bush the first, who served one term. Then we had a two-term Democrat of Clinton. Then we had a two-term Republican with George W. Bush. Now, before I continue, Clinton, when he ran and was doing his thing in the 90s, the United States was in a surplus. The economy was doing great. There was jobs available and shit. We was in the beginning phases of that NAFTA shit. You know what I'm saying? That's why everything was good. You know what I'm saying? So, we all knew Gore was going to win. That's why everybody keeps saying George Bush stole the election. We all knew Gore was going to win. It only made sense. No. A Republican won. George W. Bush, two terms. After George W. was who? Barack, two terms. Right? So what did I say next? Up next is a Republican. Straight up. Up next is a fucking Republican. Two terms. I would not be surprised for a two-term Trump, and a 4-year Republican after him. And I'll say that right now, 8/19/2006, 9:21 p.m. I would not be surprised for a two-term Trump and a 1-year. You know what? Maybe I should flip that. Maybe I should say a one-term Trump and then a 2-year Republican after his one term. But I just don't see that.
You don't think Trump can get a second term?
Anything's possible because it really depends on who would be on the Democratic side to challenge him. But I don't know if Trump would want to be president for 8 years. You know what I'm saying? He might want to do some shit and be like, all right, I can have this shit. Because you got to remember, Trump, and this is what nobody realize, Trump isn't a politician. No. Trump is the one that pays the politician. You see what I'm saying? Trump is, because I'm going to use a hip-hop analogy. And I was going to say Trump is, let's say Trump is the MC, right? And he does a little rhyme, but the DJ is who everybody is there for, the DJ. This is back in the day hip-hop. And then all of a sudden Trump comes in, and now he want to be the forefront. So he like, fuck that DJ. Y'all come listen to me. You see what I'm saying? So now everybody else mad because they like, that's not how it goes. Everybody knows the DJ rocked the party. Nobody cares what the MC got to say. You know what I'm saying? And then he coming in changing the shit. So I'm going to use that analogy like that. he normally be the one buying the politician. But now he's playing in the game. And then we should have known that. Because one thing I'll say with the whole Barack shit, you know what I'm saying, he said it, but I don't mean he mean it. You know what I'm saying? But he said, yo, don't allow the big wigs to donate as much as they want into these damn elections. It should still be so the average person can participate too. The Supreme Court or whoever, they didn't agree, and they allowed them to come in with the big money. So if I could come in with the big money, then what the fuck I need to pay y'all for? And the misconception that people got with Trump is that, I heard Umar Johnson say this, and Trump is putting up his own money. Trump ain't putting up his own money. Trump is loaning the RNC. He's loaning money for the campaign. That shit got to get paid back to him. It's a loan. That's why, if you remember in his earlier campaign, he said he had forgiven the RNC for a certain amount of money he had put up for the campaign. He had forgave that loan. So guess what? If I forgive the loan, that means what? I don't have to pay that loan back. Meaning, if I don't got to pay that loan back, then that means the other ones I do. Like, niggas don't even understand, like, really how this game is working. We don't see this. Hillary ain't gonna win. Hillary is not gonna win. The name of the game is a silent majority. No, it's gonna be real interesting. But you know what? Let's not get too deep into that. You know, I think we did. Yeah, I think we already got too deep, but I don't want to go too deep into it right now. I want to get into the other stories first before we really get into this whole polls versus people. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Well, before we get into it, you got the story already set up?
Well, yeah, I was gonna ask you. Do you remember the boy?
No, wait. Before you ask me, let me just say this one thing for polls versus people. Polls versus people, and for you to understand that, for the ones who don't understand it, what I'm saying is the polls that's on TV versus the people in the street. BritX, polls versus people. The first Timothy Bradley Manny Pacquiao fight, when Timothy Bradley won, and the scorers at ringside said Timothy Bradley won, but the Letterman card that is not supposed to determine the fight said that Pacquiao won. Polls versus people. Go ahead, Phil.
That's what's up. But shit, do you remember Kendrick Johnson?
The brother in Georgia?
Yeah, from Georgia.
Rasta?
They found him dead in the wrapped up in the gym.
Yeah, murdered.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So, his parents had, they had put a case out, you know what I'm saying, to investigate his death, and so they had accumulated all these legal fees, and so they was ordered by the courts recently to have to pay the legal fees for, them investigating the death of, their son.
Wow.
And so pretty much like the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, their article is stating that, the parents of the Valdosta team found dead in a rolled-up gym mat were ordered Thursday to pay the legal fees of the brothers they alleged killed their son, and local officials they accused of covering for Brian and Brandon Bell. So Brian and Brandon Bell, they're the killers or whatever. So the decision by Lowndes County Superior Court Judge Richard Porter was the latest blow to Kenneth and Jackie Johnson's contention that their son Kendrick's death was no accident, as state and local investigators concluded. 2 months ago, the U.S. Department of Justice, following nearly a 3-year probe, concluded there was insufficient evidence to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that someone or some group of people willfully violated Kendrick Johnson's civil rights or committed any other persecutable federal crime. So it was 2 months ago that they made the conclusion that, a brother that's just dead, wrapped up in a mat, his civil rights wasn't violated.
Oh, no, not just that. He wrapped up in a mat. They altered the video in the school. You see what I'm saying? It's a whole lot of shit that was going on to cover up the damn murder. Straight up. To cover up the damn murder. And they're going to have the audacity to say he crawled up a rolled up fucking mat. He climbed up there because his shoe was in there. And his brother isn't smart enough to knock the mat down and unroll it. So he went head first in, I can't even make this shit up. Because you can't even roll a fucking mat like that.
Yeah, but listen to this. So, we know the story, you know what I'm saying? He was discovered on January 11, 2013 in the gym. The state medical examiner ruled that he died of positional asphyxia after he got stuck in the mat. So they were saying that he was looking for a pair of sneakers, according to, the article. So it's going back to saying that, Judge Richard Porter, he spent considerable time reviewing the motions for reimbursement filed in March after the Johnsons withdrew their $100 million wrongful death suit that accused the Bell brothers of killing Kendrick. Despite alibis backed up by witness and video surveillance, Brian and Brandon Bell were targeted by federal investigators, but no charges were brought. So the Johnsons, their suit alleged that virtually every entity involved in the investigation into their son's death conspired to protect the Bell brothers, whose father is an FBI agent.
You say his father was what?
An FBI agent. So the two brothers that's being accused, their father is an FBI agent.
See, I heard that in the beginning they were saying the father was a sheriff. But even FBI, wow.
Right, they said according to Atlanta Journal. So they saying like Karen Bell, the mother of the Bell brothers, she quoted as, "I'm satisfied with the ruling and looking forward to the counterclaim against the Johnsons." So there's a countersuit that they're gonna put against the Johnsons of seeking $1 million in damages for slander and libel. And so it's saying since 2014, January 12, 2014, the Johnsons used others as authorized agents to post messages on various social media, including Facebook, Twitter, blogs, instant messaging, and the like, and that they were defamatory of the Bells, the counterclaim states. So, they got to pay legal fees, and then they're going to be hit with a suit, a countersuit, on top of the fees that they have to pay, all looking for justice for their son that was murdered, wrapped up in the mat.
Wow,
crazy,
But see, that's how but that's why you got to be strong, and you gotta, like I said in previous shows, hold your nuts and stay fucked up. I don't care about your lawsuit. I don't care about your counter shit. I don't care about none of that shit, yo. I'm gonna keep pursuing that shit. Because see, what happens is this: as long as you keep pursuing it, they ain't gotta pay a goddamn thing, yo. And here's why: as long as they keep pursuing that shit, the question gonna be this: well, you want them to do what? Well, they need to do this. And what is this for again? Now we gotta reopen this story. You see what I'm saying? And then it's gonna be like, oh shit, all right. This ain't no cut and dry shit. they altered the fucking video. They altered the video. When Alton Sterling was murdered in Baton Rouge, what police were trying to do or did in the store, take the video. When the brother, is it Laquan Daniels? Is the brother named Laquan Daniels in Chicago? Yeah. What they did. Went across the street to take the damn thing. So McDonald, I think. McDonald, yeah. See, my whole shit is always this, and it will always be that. You have to peep the patterns. You know what I'm saying? It's like this. It's like saying, yo, you know, such and such is a gay celebrity, right? And if you see this guy, let's say, Frank Ocean's a gay celebrity, right? And if you like, yeah, and all the people he hang around is gay. And then you looking at the pictures of who he hangs around, and you like, it's Frank Ocean, Quincy Jones, Puff Daddy. You know what I'm saying? It's like, after you see a pattern, you start to say to yourself, like, man, these dudes is funny. Russell Simmons. You know what I'm saying? He's like, all these guys hanging around got that funny man rumor. You know what I'm saying? You got to look at the pattern. When you're looking at in the school, we're trying to see what happened during the time this brother is inside the gym. And then the case is altered? What happened when they kill us in the street, police? All of a sudden the body cam don't work. All of a sudden the car thing don't. It's a pattern. We fell because we don't pay attention to the pattern. We keep looking at shit as individual cases. And then we'll look at another situation as individual. And another situation as individual, but no, it's all the same thing. And once you understand that, then you can better understand what the hell is going on. They altered the fucking cameras in the school. That's not far-fetched. You see what I'm saying? Because they do the same thing in the grocery stores, in the convenience stores, on their cars, on their body cam, and on everywhere. So then you got to say to yourself, what? That's their get-down. So when you start to see other cases occur, and then all of a sudden they're like, we don't know who killed this guy, and the cameras wasn't pointed in that direction. Bullshit. A cop killed them. And obviously they altered the camera. Well, why would you say that, Rasta B? Because it's a pattern. They do the same thing. Watch this pattern. Do you have the Ryan Lochte story?
Yeah, I mean, I got some little bit of stuff pulled up on. I just
all right. Let's get into the Ryan Lochte so I can tie that into the pattern. You see what I'm saying? So get into that story, and then I'm going to jump into the pattern so I can show an example of these people do the same thing. They're not. They don't move differently. They all follow patterns. They all follow shit that once you pay attention and identify what it is, then you can really understand what it is that they're doing. We don't get it because we keep looking at these people as individuals. So we just showed the FBI parents of the boy that was accused of killing Kendrick Johnson in Valdosta, Georgia. We see that the tapes in the gym was altered. Same thing that happened to Alton Sterling. Same thing that happened, you know what I'm saying, with any cases, really, as long as police could grab cameras. That's why they were so busy to dismiss the Philando Castile, his lady, because she had them filmed, and they couldn't alter it. So then what they start to say is, well, that don't mean nothing. That tape don't mean nothing. Right, that's their get down. That's their get down. You got the story up?
Oh yeah.
All right, go ahead with that.
So your guy Ryan Lochte, Olympics.
Wait. Let me hit that piece of this. Before you finish this story, let's get into who Ryan Lochte is. For those who don't remember, 4 years ago, this is the Ryan Lochte when he won for the swimming. He had a red, white, and blue grill in his mouth. And we were saying to ourselves, damn, if we would have did that, we would have gotten vilified in America. He had a red, white, and blue grill in his mouth. He is the same one who was trying to do what, Smoke? Copyright?
He was trying to copyright, like, the saying, like, yeah. I can't do it. I can't say it. But, like what's the West Coast nigga? MCA, yeah, like how my son was saying. So he had the shirts and all of that printed up. He was wearing them, if I'm not mistaken, like wearing them to like the, like his meets or whatever, and had the shirts or whatever. He had his grill or whatever. He was dating K Michelle at one point.
Yeah, I mean I don't care who you screw, but then he turns around and he tried to do the whole when we were saying turn up. He started coming out with shirts saying, turn it up. Like, he's a piece of shit. Always been a piece of shit. Now continue with the story. I just wanted to give a good recap on who this clown is.
Yep, Ryan Lochte, yes, man. Yeah, so everybody know the Olympics is in, Rio de Janeiro. So, they're there, and he concocted this story of how, he was saying that he was robbed, and what actually happened was something totally different. So at this point, the one thing that he did was he ends up leaving the country prior to Brazilian authorities actually speaking with him to confirm what actually happened. Now, to my understanding, they got into an altercation inside of a Rio de Janeiro gas station where they end up vandalizing the business and urinating all over the premises. So, you got a bunch of privileged swimmers drunk going around, damaging a place where they don't have to come back to, pretty much. So they're not their neighborhood, disrespecting the people. And, they to my understanding, they paid for the damages, which I think was like $20 and $20 US dollars. I think it was 100 of whatever the currency is. So they end up, paying it off, and they concoct the story that they were robbed. That they got robbed at gunpoint. So, to cover up the ignorance that they just did, vandalizing people's property, they concoct this crazy story of being robbed. And Ryan Lochte himself, in order to avoid having to talk to the Brazilian authorities that was, going over the case, he ends up getting on a plane and coming back to America prior to them being able to detain him. And two of the other swimmers, I couldn't find their name in the article, but they got detained by police and they end up telling, what actually happened. So, in this case, he got a heads up, like, hey man, get out of there. And, he ends up, pretty much being able to avoid anything. And, it is what it is, but it's just privilege, you know what I'm saying? He was able to just come back over here and get the heads up before everyone. His father was speaking, and, earlier in the week I saw where his pops was speaking, saying that, when he came back, that was planned originally for him to come back ahead of the team and, pretty much the spin, being the spin master, trying to throw it throw it in his favor. But, you know, it's just privileged white kids that's able to do, you know, whatever they want to do and get away with it. He's going to get a smack on the head. You know what I'm saying? I saw where they're saying that they're going to suspend him. Like, you know, suspend him for what? Because,
he's supposed to get suspended off the, I want to say he's supposed to be off the Olympic swimming team, and he's supposed to lose millions in endorsements. So he's going to get spanked financially or whatever, but like I'm thinking too, you know how that shit go. They're going to get him off that shit, put him in some type of program to clean up his image, and we're going to see him in the future, and he's going to be a comeback story. I won't be surprised with that.
Yeah,
but
at the next level.
They got one of the guys, but they got one of the guys, Gunnar Bent. He's one of the swimmers that was with them. Yeah, one of the 4 Americans involved in the incident that led to
I was looking for their names. I see them now. James Fagan, Jack Conner.
Yeah, they got their names. Yeah, but Gunnar Bent, he said his statement is, he said, I want to offer a sincere apology to the U.S. Olympic Committee, U.S. Women, the extraordinary women and men of Team USA, and the University of Georgia. Being a member of the Olympic swimming team was an honor and a dream come true. The accomplishments of my team, blah, blah, blah. He said some things he's compelled to stress a couple of key points. He said one key point was he was never a suspect in the case from the beginning. He said Brazilian law enforcement officers saw me only as a witness. He said he never made a false statement to anyone. And he said, I also want to be forthright about the detail of what transpired last Sunday. He said, after attending an event with several swimmers from different nations, I left in a taxi along with the U.S. swimmer Jack Conger, Jimmy Fegan, and Ryan Lochte. Around 6 a.m. on the way back to the Olympic Village, we pulled into a convenience store to use the restroom. There was no restroom inside, so we foolishly relieved ourselves on the back side of the building behind some bushes. No, we pissed outside, bro. We love the Bible in the dictionary, boy. That's their weapon. There was a locked door out back, and I did not witness anyone break it open. I am unsure why, but while we were in that area, Ryan pulled to the ground a framed metal advertisement that was loosely anchored. Look, loosely anchored. No, he ripped on vandalized.
Yeah, they bugging.
Look,
like, come on, man.
Look, instead of saying I raped her, he's going to say, I fell between the legs of a woman whose legs was open and was moist, and I was fully erect. Is that how? No, you raped her. Like, what are you talking about? Ryan Lochte pulled down an advertisement that was loosely hanging barely by a string on the wall. Shut the fuck up. I thought you was keeping it real in your statement. So basically, he's the snitch out of the whole story. So he already know. Go ahead.
No, I mean.
I thought you were saying something.
Oh no, no.
It's just funny.
I was gonna just say like I saw a story earlier this year. I forget the name, but where it was like this guy he had raped a child like that. And he said that's how he got off on saying that he fell. He fell down in between the legs or some shit like some crazy. Like that.
Yeah,
I got off. I had to find that story,
yo. The Bible in the motherfucking dictionary. That is the tools that white people use to control the Bible and the dictionary. They will Bible and dictionary you to death. So I do want to give some shout out to, you know what I'm saying, these runners from Bowie to Frazier, Gatlin, Bolt, you know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of melanin. A lot of melanin is out there.
Solidify itself as a legend. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what's up.
That's legendary. I be laughing at the black Americans and shit that don't fuck with both, because he's from Jamaica and they're America, and I'm like, man, you better be voting for fucking black. You know what I'm saying? Support all your damn black people.
It's greatness. You know what I'm saying? It's like he's black and he's great. You know what I'm saying? It's like it really don't matter what jersey he putting on. You know what I'm saying? It's like, to see this cat and then he showing out. You know what I'm saying? He doing it our style. You know what I'm saying? We're smiling. Yo, get that photo. Like,
hey, you know what I'm saying? Gotta do that. So, I ran across this funny ass story dealing with just to jump on the topic real quick, back onto the polls versus people. Trump, Hillary, in American politics. Guest calling number 646-716-4654. Press 1 to speak. But I want to dive into this W.E.B. Du Bois article. So this is 1956. Okay, it says, in 1956, I shall not go to the polls. I have not registered. I believe that democracy has so far disappeared in the United States that no two evils exist. There is but one evil party with two names, and it will be elected despite all I can do or say. Ain't that some shit? That's October 20th, 1956, W.E.B. Du Bois. And I'm going to tell you what's crazy. That's not even what I wanted to read. That's not even what I wanted to read. I'm thinking it's up from slavery, so I'm going to have to find the real quote, but the book is upstairs. But there's a part where W.E.B. Du Bois is speaking to black people, and he's using, guess what? Strategy and planning. And he says, because, at the time he was a Republican. So he was trying to encourage people not to vote. He said, don't vote this election because they're not even listening to us. Don't even vote. But I don't want to misquote it or take it out of context. But when I find it, I'm going to bring it back up on the show. You know what I'm saying? But then, so I was looking for that online. And then that's when I ran across the 1956 W.E.B. Du Bois. He said that democracy has so far disappeared in the United States that no two evils exist. What is the theme of this, or the reasoning behind this presidential election? Oh, we're voting for the less of two evils? Pattern? Oh, speaking of pattern, that's what I meant to do before I continue. The pattern with the Ryan Lochte. They lied and played victim, and if they could have got away with it, they would have got away with it. The same pattern with that is when you hear all of these black killings happen, and then it's the same story. Somebody called police, somebody said they think they see something or some shit like that, and then that's what's given the green light to get some of these brothers and sisters killed or assaulted. That's what they do. They use these little tricks and these tactics. You see what I'm saying? We have to pay attention. It's in their nature. He didn't have to do all of that shit in Brazil and lie and make up this big-ass story, but he did. And guess what? What if a little favela kid got killed behind that? You think he would have said, yo, my bad? Nah. Just like what's happening now. They don't got to call. That guy had to call police when he was inside that park under the pavilion, and he saw Tamir Rice playing outside with his toy gun. He didn't have to call police and give that false shit. After he said that, he got up and left. So he set the bomb and left. You see what I'm saying? Here's my question. Why the fuck police ain't trying to find that guy and interview him? You see what I'm saying? Why there's no interview for that? Why nobody even inquired about this guy? Why when the Charleston shooter kills these black people in church, why his white homeboy got arrested, but not that fake black homeboy that was paraded all on TV? You see what I'm saying? I don't agree 100% with those false flag stories, or these are crisis actors and all that. I'm not 100% sold on that, but I know George Zimmerman had a quote-unquote black friend in the beginning of his case that turned out to be false. I know that for a fact. And I remember seeing the black dude, and I said, he don't know George Zimmerman. He's saying the same shit we already know. He ain't breaking no new information.
Yeah,
this
right.
guy was able to get off the TV.
He plays into what you say.
You know what I'm saying?
Man. Like, shit you can do.
Yeah, but
see
that pattern is a motherfucker. The pattern is a motherfucker.
We're going to dig into whatever criminal history you can find of not only the person that this happened to, who was murdered, but if we can't get them, we're going to go after their parents, their girlfriend, their mother, whoever. You know what I'm saying? And shit like that. It's all part of that pattern. That shit is crazy.
So the rest of the W.E.B. Du Bois. On October 20th, 1956, W.E.B. Du Bois delivered this eloquent indictment of U.S. politics while explaining to nation readers why he won't vote in the upcoming presidential election. Du Bois condemned both Democratic and Republicans for their indifferent position on the influence of corporate wealth, racial inequality, arms proliferation, and unaffordable health care. Well, at least one of those things changed, right? Yeah. So then he goes, since I was 21 in 1889, damn, I have in theory followed the voting plan strongly advocated by Sidney Lynn in the Nation of August 4th. In example, voting for a third party even when its chances were hopeless, if the main parties was unsatisfactory or in absent of a third choice, voting for the lesser of two evils, period. My actions, however, had to be limited by the candidate's attitude towards Negroes. Of my adult life, I have spent 23 years living and teaching in the South, where my voting choice was not asked. I was disenfranchised by law or administration, shit that's still happening today. In the North, I lived in all 32 years, covering 8 presidential elections. In 1912, I wanted to support Theodore Roosevelt, but his Bull Moose Convention dodged the Negro problem, and I tried to help elect Wilson as a liberal Southerner. Under Wilson came the worst attempt at Jim Crow legislation and demonstration in civil service that we had experienced in the... Let me read that again. I have a little cold, so bear with me, people. Under Wilson came the worst attempt at Jim Crow legislation and discrimination in civil service that we had experienced since the Civil War. In 1916, I took huge Hughes, as the lesser of two evils. He promised Negroes nothing and kept his word. Shout out to Barack. In 1920, I supported Hardin because of his promise to liberate Haiti. In 1924, I'm going to read that again. In 1920, one more year, the next year, Tulsa, Oklahoma burns down. In 1920, I supported Hardin because of his promise to liberate Haiti, which is to this day not liberated. In 1924, I voted for Lafollette, Lafollette, Follett, something like that. Although I knew he could not be elected, he must have been a third-party candidate. In 1928, Negroes faced absolute dilemma. Neither Hoover nor Smith wanted the Negro vote, and both publicly insulted us. I voted for Norman Thomas and the Socialists, although the Socialists had attempted to Jim Crow Negro members in the South. In 1932, I voted for Franklin Roosevelt, since Hoover was unthinkable and Roosevelt's attitude towards workers most realistic. I was again in the South from 1934 until 1944. Technically, I could vote, but the election in which I could vote was a farce. The real election was the white primary. Retired, quote-unquote, for age in 1944, I returned to the North and found the party to my liking. In 1948, I voted the progressive ticket for Henry Wallace, and in 1952 for Vince Hallinan, Hallinnan. In 1956, I shall not go to the polls. I have not registered. I believe that democracy has so far disappeared in the United States that no, quote-unquote, two evils exist. There is but one evil party with two names, and it will be elected despite all I can do or say. There is no third party on the presidential ballot in a few states, 17 in 1952. A socialist party will appear. Few will hear its appeal because it will have almost no opportunity to take part in the campaign and explain its platform. If a voter organizes or advocates a real third-party movement, he may be accused of seeking to overthrow this government by force and violence. Anything he advocates by way of significant reform will be called communist and will of necessity be communist in the sense that it must advocate such things as government ownership of the means of production, government and business, and limitation of private profit, social medicine, government housing, and federal aid to education, the total abolition of race bias, and the welfare state. These things are on every communist program. These things are the aim of socialism. Any American who advocates them today, no matter how sincere, stands in danger of losing his job, surrendering his social status, and perhaps landing in jail. The witness against him may be liars or insane or criminal. These witnesses need no proof for their change and may not even be known or appear in person. They may be in the pay of the United States government, ADA, and liberals. They may be in the pay of the United States government, period. ADA, and liberals are not third parties. They seek to act as tails to kites. But since the kites are self-propelled and radar-controlled, tails are quite superfluous and rather silly. So, you know, it goes on and on and on, but I don't want to keep it going unless I see something else that's interesting that needs to be spoke on. But that's W.E.B. Du Bois. So he went through his whole voting history since he was 21 in 1912 and showing you how he done tried voting Republican, Democrat, third party. You see what I'm saying? If I had the Up From Slavery book, that's why I'm going to revisit that tomorrow because it's upstairs. But I'm going to get back into what Booker T said about voting. And what Booker T. Washington said was we need to vote locally instead of worrying about someplace far away that I don't even care. We got to vote locally and control our local politics and our economy and economics. Then we can worry about a presidential election. But until then, we need to be worrying about local policies, local dealings, local law, and building a black economy. Go ahead, Phone.
Yeah, talk, man. Nah, that fucking...
Yeah, that's Du Bois.
Huh?
No, I just said that's Du Bois. You know?
That's real talk, man. That's real talk, man. So, shit, we have to... Did you want to take a break today, or you just want to jump into the topic?
Yeah, I guess we could do a little break. Only reason I don't like doing the breaks and shit is because it'd be hard when I post it on YouTube. If I add another song, you know, I might just use this. Yeah, I got one. Yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and take a break. Cole versus People, Trump, Hillary, and American politics. Get calling number 646-716-4654.
I mean, you know how it is. If you really been out here. Shit wicked, boy. Hold up. Wicked. Hold up. Wicked. These streets wicked. You hoes wicked. I won't show no mercy, niggas ask for it. I can't show no mercy, niggas ask for it. Hold up. Wicked. These streets wicked. Swear if I ain't hit it, then my dog killed her. Bitches think they slick using that dog filter. Shorty know no matter what, my piece is hidden. She pillow talking, telling me your piece is dead. For that friendly nonsense, keep it monetary. Let's get it. Rockin' Fendi Monster, I'm so fly scary. Twin cannons with him that Mariah carries. My nigga make a movie, that's that Tyler Perry. That's the Spike Lee. F. Gary Gray. Chopper beat your face. Call it Mary Kay. 2 birds of white girl, Ashley, Mary Kay. Drop them chickens in the flour, let them birds marinate. All my day ones rockin' days. My son wear a rollie to his play date. Steady out the picture, shorty photo cropping. I be more concerned about when that photo dropping. I'm cool on all these mixy niggas, photo hopping. They post it but don't buy it, niggas photoshopping. Everything you niggas wanna get, I done had that. Know I'm son of niggas, so I started wearing dad hats. Hold up, wicked. Hold up, wicked. These streets wicked. You hoes wicked. I won't show no mercy, niggas ask for it. I can't show no mercy, niggas ask for it. Hold up, wicked. These streets wicked.
Yeah, I just went to get it, they said I was selfish. Your best songs are somebody else's. Stay away from them, allergic to shellfish. It's all good long as you know where the wealth is. Used to play the lobby with the best raw. And leave the after party with the best haul. Now I'm getting ready for my next tour. Kyrie party right next door. Gonna let the pump do that. Art of war, you just gotta Sun Tzu that. Got the Cuban sitting on the fuck Trump crew neck. I was in the hood, you ain't never come through that. It's a reward if they find where we dumped you at. Let it clip off wherever your punk crew at. As far as that work go, yeah, you know, son, move that. The whole tri-state is my state, yeah, true that. Okay, see, I'm just reminding y'all. These streets will throw your timing off. Feels like a needle in your spinal cord. And the stamp on the diesel say final form.
I'm in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value.
Welcome back, in Black America Radio. It's your man, Rasta B. Today's topic, polls versus people, Trump, Hillary, and American politics. The guest calling number is 646-716-4654. Yeah, man, polls versus people. We're going to definitely dive into this right now. But before I get into this, I want to bring this story up because this is something that I always hear Hebrews say all the time. So I want to bring this up because, like I said, Hebrews say this. Hebrews and people that like to step away from being black always say this. There was no slave ship. You know what I'm saying? And they'll be like, well, where's the slave ships? Where's the slave ships? Okay. So peep this. Off the coast of the Car, Senegal, the archaeologists rose in the bow of the speedboat, pointing to the choppy waters where the 18th century slave ship had gone down. It's somewhere over here, Ibrahim Taiwa said, Thiaw. Off the western tip of mainland Africa lies some of the most important vestige of the transatlantic slave trade. The wreckage of ships that sank, carrying thousands of African men, women, and children to America. And not just America. It was a gang of places. But despite historians' immense interest in that period, no one has ever tried to excavate them until now. So that's where the notion that, well, where's the boat? Where's the boat? That whole shit came about because nobody went to excavate them. Well, now they are. For years, the wrecks were considered too hard to find. Considered too hard to find. The work was too, what's up, homie? The works was too expensive. And there were few African researchers willing to take on the project in countries. Damn, what the fuck just happened? Okay. In countries, my bad. For whatever reason, my page is just, damn, what the hell just happened? I was just in the middle of reading this and the page just went out. Okay, so it says, for years, the wrecks were considered too hard to find, the work was too expensive, and there were few African researchers willing to take on the project in countries where the slave trade is often considered a source of shame, not a source of worthy to study, not a subject worthy of study. Thiaw, that brother last name, Daya, whatever. A tall 50-year-old archaeologist from rural Senegal is one of the pioneers trying to find the wrecks. There has been only one known excavation of a ship that went down off the African coast while carrying slaves. the Sao Jose, SAOJOSE, space JOSE, found thousands of miles away off South Africa. Artifacts from the vessel. Okay. Where am I at? Okay. Artifacts from the vessel will be displayed at the Smithsonian National Museum of African American History and Culture, opening next month. The archaeologist brother from rural Senegal, THIAW, hopes his discoveries will eventually be featured by the museum too. So, this brother's here. He's over here trying to pull up the ships. They say Senegal was a major exporter of enslaved Africans for about 400 years. When the brother was in school, though, that history was barely discussed. As a boy, he visited Goree Island just off the course of the car, where a tour guide told him about slaves waiting shackled for boats headed for the Americas. After listening to him, he recalled, "I screamed." It was the beginning of an obsession. His parents were farmers, but the brother, described to be an archaeologist, studied in the University of Dakar and then earned a PhD at Rice University in Houston. Some of his friends and family joked that he was searching for garbage. Senegal had become more worldwide for its landmarks of the slave trade, particularly on Goree, a major entrepot or trading center. But the scholarship turned out to be shaky. In the 1990s, American researchers claimed that those sites had been misidentified. The famed door of no return was not, in fact, a final departure point for slaves, they said, but likely just a door in a private residence. For the brother, the controversy reinforced his commitment to archaeological research. "I decided I would find my own true stories," he recalled. And then the story goes on and on and on. The title of the story, again, is called "Sunken Ship Off Africa Hold Lost Stories of Slave Trade." So you should really check that out. And it's funny that Senegal, the history of Senegal, especially since Senegal also wants Black Americans to repatriate back to Africa, and Senegal is one of the places that's willing to give you land also. So, but before I continue, Smoke, are you there?
Yeah, I'm back.
Yeah. And look at all of the weather, man. My nose running, I'm all stuffy, my eyes burning. It's crazy, man. So I hope I don't sound muffled and stuff when I'm on the show. So,
I mean, I can hear you.
You ready to get into it?
I heard
okay.
Yeah,
That's perfect. Yeah, you said what?
Yeah, I mean, let's get it, yo.
Huh?
Yeah.
You said what?
Let's go. I said, let's go. What you got to say about the topic? You know what I'm saying? Polls versus people.
Polls versus people.
What you think?
So at the end of the day, my whole thing is this: polls versus people. You know what I'm saying? You got the media, you got the people. I feel like Donald Trump is more so tapping in and dealing with more like a grassroots, you know what I'm saying, type scenario like that. And the media is feeding the people with the polls because they know that it's just like that 100 monkey theory, that by the time you know what I'm saying, like if you get the monkey to do something, by the time the 100th monkey, everybody be doing it or something like that. It's like this society, they know how they raised us and they know how they program us. So as long as they tell us this person's going to win, this person's going to make it, these are the people that's going to do it, then it would either encourage the people who are going to vote for her and hopefully discourage the ones who may not. You see what I'm saying? So polls versus people, when I look at the people talking, the people ain't playing that. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, Smoke.
Yeah, shout out to Bolt, too, man. Nigga won again tonight. You know what I'm saying? That brother got another gold medal. So shout out to Bolt, yo. Usain Bolt. But, yeah, I mean, it's a lot of you know, pumping of the polls, so to speak, like, you know, those numbers and what they're showing, because with Clinton, there's really a lot of negative press if you know, you just really scratch the surface. It's all right there. It's not like, you know, something that's hidden. You know, like as we know, you know, the recent story, she's been getting pressed about, you know, the emails, using her private emails, you know, which can, you know, hide traces of what she's writing, you know what I mean? And so she recently, you know, got interviewed by the FBI, and she told them that Colin Powell advised her to use her private email.
Oh.
So it's like, so she
made to do it.
Yeah, she just started the bus over, just ran my man over with the bus, you know what I'm saying? So they were saying that in the, you know, in the FBI notes, you know, it was just recently seen that in 2009 that the FBI questioned her, and they were saying in the 2009 email exchange that also emerged during the FBI questioning, Ms. Clinton, who had already decided to use private email, asked Mr. Powell about his email practices when he was the nation's top diplomat under George W. Bush, according to a person with direct knowledge of Mr. Powell's appearance in the documents who would not speak for attribution. So she just threw Colin Powell under the bus. There also, I saw also another article. It was a Yahoo article, and I can't find it, but I have it saved on my phone, where they was just speaking on you know, her health issues, the possible health issues, and
don't get caught up in that. That's slander. That's nothing with some Breitbart, right wing.
Well, not saying
that ain't nothing.
That is,
no, like I'm saying, that's not important. That's not important. That's no different than if somebody turn around and bring up Monica Lewinsky. So that's not important shit. The email shit, that's important. Like if people really, yo, this bitch is fucking shiesty, you know what I'm saying? Like, she mad cruddy. The whole Clintons is cruddy. If you check their whole get down, they cruddy. Nobody. This is the thing, yo. Bill Clinton went to goddamn Haiti and snatched up Batista. Had the United States snatched up the president of damn Haiti. I just read to y'all what W.E.B. Du Bois, why he voted for a president to help liberate Haiti. Clinton, he was out there, and they still exploiting Haiti. Because if you remember in the previous show, there was only one license to mine in Haiti. Then they end up having two licenses, one for the Haitians and one, ironically, is Hillary Clinton's brother. These are some grimy people. And just to add on to the whole Hillary shit, I'm going to read this title. New York NYPD Chief Bill Bratton's next stop, private consulting firm that's tied to the Clintons. Who is Commissioner Bill Bratton? That's the same goddamn Bill Bratton from who was police commissioner in L.A. That was the same Bill Bratton who was there in Boston. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is cruddy, yo. It's cruddy, man. Straight up. So you have now the police commissioner now. This is the same Bratton who blamed gangster rap and thuggism for the whole Troy Ave shooting at the Irvington Plaza joint. Same person. He says on Tuesday, New York City Police Commissioner William Bratton announced he is resigning next month. Bratton has served as the NYPD commissioner twice. He also served as head of the Boston and Los Angeles Police Department. But Bratton's resignation doesn't mean he's retiring. His next job will be at Teneo Holdings, a global private consulting firm with controversial ties to Hillary Clinton. Bratton will be the chairperson of a new branch of the company called Teneo, Teneo, Teneo Risk. For more, we speak with Christina Heatherton, assistant professor of American Studies at Trinity College. She's the co-editor of Policing the Planet, why the policing crisis led to Black Lives Matter. And then they get into the transcript and all things of this nature. But, yeah, this shit is crazy. They got a guy named Juan Gonzalez, he says, in his transcript. And, of course, I would not be surprised for those who remember the former police commissioner, Ray Kelly, if I remember that asshole. After his first stint at New York City commissioner, ended up going into the Clinton administration, working for the Treasury Department. So I would not be at all surprised, Bill Bratton, if Hillary Clinton gets elected president, end up with some kind of law enforcement post in a second Clinton administration. See, that's the whole shit. We don't understand what's going on because we're looking at the surface and looking at what people are doing. We don't know none of these people foundations, their companies, none of this shit we pay attention to. Who they align with, what their business practices is, none of this shit we pay attention to. We sit here and we listen to people lie to us, just like the dude Larry on another channel. Trump isn't a professional politician. Hillary is a professional politician. Well, what the fuck is a politician? A liar. So Hillary is a professional liar, and Trump isn't. So because Trump can't lie to me like Hillary can lie to me, I'm not going to vote for Trump. I'm going to vote for Hillary because she's the better liar. That's black people's thought process. That shit don't make no damn sense. So, yeah. Yeah, you want to say something?
Oh, no, I was saying, man, it's crazy. That's crazy. So what you got out there about Trump, man? Because I mean, we see the tone of Hillary. I mean, she has what's saving her in the media is the presumption or you know that she's winning. You know that people want her more than Trump. You know what I'm saying? That's saving her. She has all these other stories that you can look at her and you'd be like, you wouldn't want to vote for her. Just with what's going on with her, you know, recently, it makes her look scandalous. So imagine you start digging up more and more and more, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, you detail a lot of stuff. You detail a lot of stuff over the last, you know, bunch of shows, last couple of months, you know, since you know,
they did
the whole election started heating up.
Yeah, she become president, then they're going to stop taking donation and tithes from foreign leaders and other corporate organization. When I heard her say that, I'm like, yo, this bitch is so fucking cruddy. It's not even funny. It's not even funny how cruddy. That's why I always said, if it was Bernie Sanders versus Trump, Bernie got it. Bernie got it, hands down. But no, that's not the reality. It's this cruddy-ass chick. And this is what I told somebody. I told somebody this about a year ago, not a year ago, about a week or 2 ago. I said, I'm talking about the whole Trump shit, and everybody like, Trump. And I said, listen, you got to understand, somebody would rather vote for a person who's a little uncouth with the tongue when they speak, who might be a little, temperament, might be a little speaking from the hip or whatever like that, whatever the little terminologies are, speaking from the hip and all that stuff. They'll rather vote for that type of person than a liar. Hillary Clinton proved herself to be a liar. So if you put a liar versus somebody that people are trying to tote as being racist, you'll be surprised how many people would rather deal with the presumed racist person than with the liar. I can't trust you. At least I know this racist piece of shit. At least I know he's telling the truth. You know what I'm saying? You smiling in my face and stabbing me in my back. Because I look at it like this. One thing about the Trump shit I found out, though, listening to one of his, him speak to the police, the FOP, the Fraternal Order of Police, will be endorsing him. That's what one of the guys said. They said the Fraternal Order of Police got your back and have the endorsement. I don't know if they were saying that just for that date or maybe it's for the whole shit. I don't know how that. I don't fuck with police, so I don't know how that shit works. But
I want to say it's state to state, but police is police.
Yeah, it might be the main shit, the whole whatever. But I'll say this: everything Trump said, Hillary playing catch up to follow. Or just the administration period, whether it's the Iran situation with them giving the money with the hostage, and then Trump saying, oh, that was some, then they got to come back and rebut it and all kind of shit like that. It's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, y'all not even peeping the, like, on the people's side of the game, the Democratic side look weak as shit. On the media side of the game, the Republican side look weak as shit.
Right, and that's what the point that we mentioned in that health shit earlier was like, he is like he in control of it. You know what I'm saying? It's like what she really don't have anything to stand on except debunking whatever he say. So it was said that he mentioned she was unhealthy. So now I have to go. You start seeing these articles about questioning her health. He comes out with his plan of how he's going to do the taxes and make it better for lower wage of people. Now she has to come back and now she comes back and she responded to that. She has to debunk what he's saying. So it's like he's in control. She's reacting to whatever, he puts out there. So it's like him having the control of it. The only thing that's really giving her the image of being in the race, in my opinion, is the media and showing the polls. It's like, you show those numbers. It's like, oh, Hillary's winning. The GOP is questioning whether Trump is the right guy. It's like, oh, come on, this late in the race, this is what's going on. You're seeing all type of headlines like that where if you just looked at the headlines, if you just read the papers, and you would just think that, it's like Hillary gonna win. You know what I mean? It's like clockwork right now. But when you see the back and forth between the two, it's more her reacting to what he's, you know what I'm saying, to what he's doing.
Yeah, because the people is versus the poll. The people going to be talking. You know what I'm saying? Now, I want to give a little back down memory lane to the for black people. September 17th, 2014, 2 years ago. African-American politicians formed the Fannie Lou Hamer Coalition, cite disrespect from the Democratic Party. I'm about to read two stories, right? Some Democratic candidates could find opposition from within their own party from a new coalition of local African-American politicians. Members of the Fannie Lou Hamer Coalition said they have been disrespected by their own party. The 24 members of the coalition, including state rep, local mayors, and St. Louis County Council Chair Hazel Irby, say they won't be voting for someone just because they have a donkey behind their name. Irby says they've been disrespected when it comes to the Michael Brown shooting, job creation, and the Normandy School District. We were disrespected by those who made decisions affecting our children, Irby said. We wrote letters, we made phone calls, they were not returned. We're tired of the lack of respect. Berkeley Mayor Theodore Hoskins is among the mayors, council members, and state reps in the Fannie Lou Hamer Coalition. We're not against the Democratic Party, he said. We're against anyone who does things that are not in the best interest of our community. While Irby would say wouldn't say if the coalition would endorse any particular candidate, Hoskins named Bob McCulloch and Stephen Stinger as among those who don't have the best interest of the African American community. When asked if the coalition would endorse candidates or would write in candidates, Irby said everything is on the table. Fannie Lou Hamer was a civil rights leader who fought the racism of white Mississippi Democrats. So I wanted to bring that up because I remember when that story first came out, and I was like, wow, that's crazy, right? So now we got this. Donald Trump made his second appeal this week to African Americans to vote for him in November's general election. If African American voters give Donald Trump a chance for giving me their vote, the result of them will be amazing. For them to be amazing. The Republican presidential nominee said during a rally at a Charlotte Convention Center in Charlotte, North Carolina, "What do you have to lose by trying something new? I will fix it," said Trump, who's been struggling to attract black voters. "This means so much to me, and I will work as hard as I can to bring new opportunities to places in our country which have not known opportunity in a very long time." And taking direct aim at his Democratic rival, Trump said, Hillary Clinton and the Democratic Party have taken African-American voters totally for granted because the voters have been automatically there. There has been no reason for Democrats to produce. And I ain't got to go on and on and on. But it's just funny because because remember, this is one of my issues when it comes to the whole Donald Trump versus Hillary Clinton thing. When you listen to Claude Anderson speak, Claude Anderson is the first person that I heard say, the reason why these illegals are coming into the country is to undermine black people. That's right, brother. That's right, brother. But then when Trump say that, then it's like, you racist. And I'm like, that's interesting. Then you got a situation in 2014 where black people was like, yo, man, we forming our own, this Fannie Lou Hamer coalition because of the disrespect we feeling from the Democratic Party and the fact that it's a lack of respect. They're not taking our calls. They're not listening to us. They're not doing stuff to better our community. That's right, brother. That's right, brother. But then when Donald Trump makes an appeal and says the Democratic Party has been taking advantage of African-American votes, and that's why they don't produce nothing, then we laugh and say, oh, what you going to do for us? And, not what you're going to do for us, but, saying whatever the comment is. I don't even know to even make up a joke about it, but it's whatever the comment is that we say where we'll look at it like we don't need to be listening to somebody else. I always say, give me the devil I don't know. I don't want the devil I know. The devil we know, black people, is the Clinton. The devil we know, black people, is the Democratic Party. We know them. We know them, boy, and they know us. It's top revolution is to change and shake shit up. Think about that. If you want somebody to listen to your plight, don't go to the person that's been taking advantage of you. Go to the person that's really trying to get your fucking vote. Yo, Trump, this is what we need on the table. Black churches, black preachers who signed up with Trump. I don't know what y'all spoke about on the behind the closed doors. But maybe y'all said some real shit. Yo, put this in. This is what we need in our community. Because guess what? While Trump is at least making an appeal to black people, Hillary Clinton was doing the Dougie for y'all. Think about that shit. You know what I'm saying? Come on. You talk about hot sauce in her fucking bag and shit. Like, come on, man. Like, I mean, goddamn, how much can you see that lets you know that we don't take y'all shit serious no more. We don't take y'all serious. You think what I'm saying? We don't take y'all serious. That we know to get the black vote, all Hillary Clinton got to do is shake her flat ass, and then we gonna laugh and say she twerking. She gonna seem hip. While she put Bratton in office, in power. If this crooked ass chick, and I already told you, Trump, he got the FOP, the Fraternal Order Police. He got them. So we already know what's going to be with the Trump situation with that. But my question is this: what is or what will Hillary agree with to get this out of the police? These are the questions that we don't know. Give me the goddamn devil I don't know. That way he new to me and I'm new to he. And then we can do something from there. Y'all want to keep running around in the same goddamn circle thinking that if I run fast enough, like, for example, I live out here in Georgia, right, Smoke? So there's a highway out here called 285. 285 is a circle around the perimeter. Literally, if you keep driving and stay on 285, you ain't never going to get off 285. Straight up. 285 is just a circle. And that's how we are. We on 285. And somebody's saying, yo, let's get off on 20. Or let's get off on 85. Let's get off on 75. Let's get off on 678. And hell no, I ain't getting off on there. I don't know where that's going to take me. I'm going to stay on 285 where I'm comfortable. I know where 285 is going to take me. I don't know where 20 is going to take me. I don't know where 85 is going to take me. Like, come on, man. Come on. Like, damn, we that scared? Big grown-ass men. Grown-ass woman. We scared like that? Come on, man. You got to do better than that. And then, the next thing, too, is this. And because this is what really fucked up the Democratic Party right here. Mark my words. Goddamn, what's the name of the shit? What's going on in Louisiana, right? So in Louisiana, Trump went down there to talk to the people in Baton Rouge, right? Barack ain't go yet.
Shame.
People versus poll. People versus poll. Why was Barack at vacation? Because the polls say Hillary's doing good. Let's keep it a buck. The polls say Hillary's doing good. The polls in the media say Trump is falling apart. So I'm going to break it down to the people like this. I'm going to break it down to the people in man-woman terms. Because like I said, it's all patterns. When you understand these patterns, then you understand how to see it. You know what I'm saying? It's like me. I don't do the church and God and all that shit, right? So I remember once I was talking to this church woman and shit in my 20s, and I was like, yeah, so I don't understand. If y'all believe in God and y'all Christians, and look at all these different churches or denominations. So she like, because I didn't know what the hell denomination was. What the hell does that even mean? So she was like, oh, that's, just different, groups or whatever of the same faith. I said, oh, you mean like sets? You know what I'm saying? Like different gang sets? You know what I'm saying? Like, and she, oh, that's so ignorant. We are not a gang. But I'm like, I'm trying to break it down so I can understand. You know what I'm saying? And then when we find out they are a gang. They have people riding around in their cars out here in Atlanta with flags, coming out their car. New birth. Creflo. You know what I'm saying? I can't think of what Creflo shit was called, right? But world changing. New birth. And motherfuckers, it's like gang banging. Who you be with such you claiming while you bang. They'll be like, what church you go to? Oh, I go to this church over here. Who your pastor? Oh, my pastor so-and-so. Oh, my pastor so-and-so. Oh, that's it. I'm hearing this shit. I used to be like, damn, they talking like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this shit was just weird when I first came to Georgia. So the point of me saying all of that is to say this. It's the same shit. You're listening to polls now that's telling you that Hillary going to win. You're listening to the media saying that Hillary going to win, but Trump is out there in the trenches, out there rubbing hands with the people. You see what I'm saying? He's out there really fighting for these votes. Oh, so this is an example for man and woman. Man and woman goes like this. You got two men, right? You got two women. They're couples, right? No homo. They're couples. So the first set of men and women, this man, he take his girl out. He buy her all kind of clothes. He fucking wine and dine her, break her off bread, 5 stacks, enjoy yourself, fool, all of that shit. The other dude, this nigga, he don't give her no bread, he don't pay her no attention, he don't call her, he don't do nothing. The first guy, he gives his woman 5 stacks. But one day, her birthday comes, he gives her 4 stacks. She look at the 4 stacks and she like, the fuck is this, nigga? Was you getting broke or something? What happened to your money? You normally give me 5. Now you giving me 4? Oh, you fell off, nigga. The second guy, with the who don't hardly pay his woman no attention, the second guy cleans up the house one day and makes dinner. She comes home from work, she see the house clean and dinner made, and she, oh my God, I can't believe you did this. You're the greatest man in the world. And that's Trump. All the fucking up Trump was doing in the beginning, all Trump got to do is act good a little bit, and just long enough to win, he'll make it. Hillary, them, the bar's too set high. That's why those emails are going to fuck her up, the dishonesty is going to fuck her up, the foundation and their connection and that little slush fund hustle they got going on, all of that's going to fuck them up because at the end of the day, you're not trustworthy. You're not shit. Oh, but look, I did this and I did that and I did that and I did this. And if you look at my political history, nobody gives a fuck. What have you done for me lately? Trump, build a wall. Mexicans ain't shit. Muslims ain't shit. All kind of other shit he's saying. Oh my God, we don't like what he's saying. Guess what? He went down to Baton Rouge. No, I'm just saying, once he went down to Baton Rouge, everybody's screaming, yeah, Mr. Trump thinks. Now everybody looking at Barack. Why you ain't go down to Baton Rouge, Barack? And Trump went. You see what I'm saying? Now he reading off his teleprompter. He shakes up his shit to get more serious now, right? Guess what? All of the little fuddy-duddy shit, all the fuddy-duddy shit he was saying in the beginning, everybody's going to forget about that shit. And everybody's going to see the new presidential Trump. And then everybody's going to be looking. And all he got to do is just act right. All he got to do is don't be offensive. And everybody's going to be like, that's what I'm talking. This is the Trump I like. He didn't do shit. But he was so bad that it takes him a little bit of good to be perfect. Like he got the bad kid. Bad kid wilding out all fucking day, right? But now he's good for the last hour. And then you're like, yeah, he did straighten up towards the end. 7 hours of terror, 1 hour, he was good towards the end. But the good kid, he can't be bad for an hour. That's going to be like, yo, but him? He was fucking up. Damn, I was good for 7 hours. I was bad for 1 hour. And they the ones that's going to turn around and say, yeah, but you see that one right there? Yeah, you think he's good. He was wilding out, throwing all kind of shit, only for an hour. But the bad kid who was fucked up for 7 hours, all he needed was 1 hour to be good. And all of a sudden, it changed the mind and heart of the goddamn teacher. Now, that kid, you see what I'm saying? That's how it works. It's patterns. People don't see the pattern. Because everybody keep thinking this shit is individual. It's not. They following game plans. That's why they don't get it. Watch what I say. Watch as we get into more closer to November. Watch Trump start acting and carrying stuff way more presidential. Even the media, I bet you, start even taking him more serious once he starts to do that. Straight up. It's a simple game. I learned this shit in the hood. I was saying that shit literally on Chauncey Street to say that shit. Because I used to watch my cousin's boyfriend at the time. He used to break her off bread. 3,000-4,000, Naheem and shit. And I used to hear how she used to talk to him and all that kind of stuff like that. And if it was like short, then it's like, yo, here's 2,000. It's like, what the fuck am I supposed to do with 2,000? And I used to be like, yo, this is the 90s. I used to be like, damn, what kind of shit is that? And I used to look at me, you know what I'm saying? And me, shit, during my era, I used to, shit, I ain't buying you nothing. You know what I'm saying? You better buy me something. I ain't buying you shit. But I used to notice a small gesture. Oh, my God, oh, look. And it's like, took it so serious. That make you feel embarrassed. Like, oh, my God, I should do this more often. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is that same energy. And that's what Trump's going to do. So, you know, that's how I look at that shit.
That was a good explanation of that. That's really shit. I thought you was gonna mention the Daily News article where Trump said he predicted that he'll win 95% of the black vote when he's reelected in 2020. And so they said, Daily News is saying that he said that if he's elected, that he'll be good for black Americans. And at the end of 4 years, I guarantee you I will get over 95% of the African American vote. And then he says, what do you lose by trying something new, like Trump? he told a boisterous crowd in Diamondale, Michigan, "What the hell do you have to lose?" So, this is like his initial jump into, attaining the votes, like, pretty much what you was touching on. And so he's saying, the Daily News is saying that the self-proclaimed billionaire spoke to the deteriorating conditions in Detroit and other big cities, blaming rival Hillary Clinton and other Democrats for high unemployment, poverty, and bad schools. "You're living in poverty," quote, "You have no jobs. 58% of your youth is unemployed," Trump said. "What the hell do you have to lose?" And so,
and guess what? Black people, you got black people that's gonna and say to themselves, "You know what? He right." It's gonna be black people, especially women, who's gonna vote Democratic all the way, and you're gonna have the black man that's gonna vote Democratic. They might go ahead and get their 70-something% vote on. You're gonna have black people that's gonna vote for the third-party candidate. You're going to have a segment of black people, because it's not a unified front. This is not where black people voting for Barack. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have black people that's going to vote for the Hillary and the Democratic Party. You're going to have the black people that's going to vote for the third-party candidate. You're going to have the black person who's not going to vote at all. And you're going to have the black people that's going to vote for Trump. That is true.
We coming off a president that didn't speak to black people at all. You know what I'm saying? And so for him to...
he spoke at us. He spoke at us, told us to pull ourselves off our bootstrap and all kind of shit. And the funny thing about pulling yourself off the bootstrap, we already know Dr. King mentioned the hypocrisy of that in his final speech, when he talked about we going back to Congress or the White House, Washington or whatever, and they're gonna cut a check. They're gonna cut us a check. And he mentioned the hypocrisy of the pulling yourself off of your bootstrap from people who get handouts from the goddamn government. You see what I'm saying? Black people, stop being scared, Joe, and stop being scary. None of these presidents going to do shit for us. So you might as well start shaking up the goddamn political game. Stop being so complacent. I'm going to vote for the Democrats. I'm going to vote Democrats straight down the line. The Democrat is the fucking party of the Ku Klux Klan. That's who the Democratic Party is. The party of the Ku Klux Klan. You might as well shake this shit up. Just like what Trump said, what the fuck do we got to lose? What do we got to lose?
Hey, you got to lose. Hey.
Yo, Smoke, I'm reading 1956, W.E.B. Du Bois. 1956. What do we have to lose? Read his whole voting history from 1912 when he was 21. No, excuse me. It was 1889 when he was 21. And I was reading from 1889. What the f do we have to lose? What are we scared of? If I'm reading stuff from 1907 and they saying the same stuff that's happening now, and I'm reading stuff from 1960 and they're saying the same stuff that's happening now, and I'm reading stuff from the 1850s and it's the same stuff that's happening now, what the hell do we have to lose? Poll versus people. And the people, I believe, will speak during this election. I don't want to hear no, because you got to watch out for that silent majority. The silent majority is the group of voters who's going to tell you in your face we're voting for Hillary. When they get behind that food, well, no. You know what happened?
I couldn't think of that term earlier for shit. I can't think of that term earlier for nothing. Silent majority.
They break down the whole, and I seen somebody in the crowd. I think it was his North Carolina speech or Wisconsin speech, some shit like that. I can't remember. And somebody lifted up the sign and had it pointed towards the camera, not him. Yeah, towards the camera. It said, "The silent majority is with you." You see what I'm saying? So, man, we don't know what's about to play out. But what we do know, we need to stop being scared black people and really take this shit serious, take who we are serious, and let's build this black economy, you know? But we're about to close out. We got like 25 seconds left. So let's do our closing. Facebook, facebook.com/inblack.america. Twitter, InBlackAmerica7. YouTube, just Google In Black America Radio to get our shows. Friday, Saturdays, 9 p.m. Eastern. That's when you can find us. So we smoke that in closing out before we 5 more.
Till next time.
Next time.
I'm in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value.
Burger King presents Breakfast Stories. Today's story, Max and the Sausage, Egg, and Cheese Biscuit 2 for $4 deal.
Here's my opinion. I like the biscuit at Burger King. It's got that fresh baked smell. And your whole breakfast is in there. Eggs, cheese, sausage. And they're 2 for $4. You got it? Am I trending now?
Yeah, Max. Hashtag biscuits. Try a freshly baked sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit, now just 2 for $4, only at Burger King. This is not breakfast. This is a Burger King breakfast. At participating restaurants, limited time.